feel pretty low when you've been left out. That's the way it was with Eddie Johnson. And this is his story. A story about the importance of trustworthiness.
Well, hi, Eddie.
Hello, Dad. What are you doing?
Well, you're kind of late, and Mother was counting on you fixing this lamp. So I thought I'd better do it and ready. Is anything wrong, son?
No.
Come on, you can trust me with your troubles, can't you, Eddie?
Why does everybody keep talking about trusting people? They elected Bob the treasurer of our club because he was trustworthy. And me? They put me on the cleanup committee. I wouldn't have stolen their money. What's all this about being trustworthy?
Wait a minute. It can't be that bad. Let's start from the beginning. Tell me what happened.
Well, I've been in our hobby club for about 3 years now, and I wanted to be treasurer. I should have been, too. But at our meeting today...
And this is Eddie Johnson's story. The story of a boy who had his heart set on being treasurer of his club. Of course, there wasn't any real reason for Eddie to be elected, but like most of us, he just hoped. He hoped someone would nominate him. But whose name do you think they thought of first? Bob West, one of Eddie's best friends. Jim Small was nominated too. And Mary Burns. But Eddie? Well, no one even thought to mention Eddie. And you can't nominate yourself, even when you want the job. So before Eddie knew it, the nominations were closed. And when the voting was over, Bob had won. They said he was elected because he was so trustworthy. Why should they think of Bob as trustworthy and not Eddie?
Well, I'm not going to do any work in the cleanup committee. Why should they say he's trustworthy, Dad? What's being trustworthy got to do with being a treasurer?
Well, Eddie, a treasurer certainly must be trustworthy. But being trustworthy is pretty important to all of us in almost everything we do. If you think of the things you do every day, I'm sure you'll see the important part that trustworthiness plays in helping us to get along with others. Take school, for example. We all depend on teachers to fulfill their trust to the parents and all the boys and girls to do a good job of teaching, just as all the boys and girls must keep trust with their teachers to prepare their lessons every day. That's how trustworthiness is important at school. And what about trustworthiness with your friends? You're willing to lend something when you can trust a friend to return it. And your friends trust you to take good care of the things you borrow. Being trustworthy with your friends is mighty important. And how about trustworthiness with the different groups of people you meet all around you? You trust the man in the store to sell you fresh things of good quality and to deal with everyone honestly and fairly. That helps us all to live together well, doesn't it?
I was just remembering.
Just remembering. Remembering that Bob shows he can be trusted to do little things. You can always be sure, for example, that when he says he'll prepare a class report, he'll stick to it and do a good job, even when it might be more fun to do something else. That's not a very big thing, but it has helped make Bob known for being trustworthy. At the charge-out desk, Bob helps out at regular times. Always remembers to be on the job when he's supposed to. Being on time may seem a little thing, too. But it's another important way to show that you're trustworthy. And everybody knows that Bob has had experience handling money and keeping accounts. People are willing to trust someone who has proved he can do the job. Yes, all these little things have given Bob a reputation for always keeping whatever trust he accepts.
People do trust Bob. He deserved to be treasurer, all right. But how can I learn to be trustworthy, too?
Well, by showing that he could be trusted in little things, Bob was trusted in big things, too. Perhaps that's the way.
That's what I'm going to do. I guess being trustworthy is pretty important. And I'm taking that job on the cleanup committee.
Good, it worked.
Yeah. You know, I have a lot of trusts already. Most of them little, but I never thought of them as trusts before. Trusts at school, at home, with friends, and I'm going to make sure I keep them.